Every time you ask an AI to review your code, it reads your files like it has amnesia. The whole folder. Again. And you pay for every single token. This constellation is the fix. It's a real map of a real code base. Every dot is a function, every line is a call, and it means your AI can stop reading 25,000 tokens just to review three functions. The tool that builds it is free, open source, sitting at 26,000 stars, and it plugs into Claude Code, Cursor, and 11 other tools. I installed it, pointed it at Flask, and broke a function on purpose to see what happens. Stay for the numbers. They're better than the ones on the box. Here's the exact problem with real numbers from my machine. I changed three functions in Flask. To review that change properly, an AI assistant would normally pull in about 25,500 tokens of context. That's the cost of having no memory of your code base. Multiply that by every review, every single day, and it's real money and real context window space. The assistant drowns in files that have nothing to do with your change. Code Review Graph fixes it by building the map once. It passes your code base into a graph. Files, classes, functions, and tests are the dots. Calls, imports, inheritance, and test coverage are the lines. It's all stored in a small local database inside your repo. Nothing goes to any cloud. And once the map exists, your AI doesn't reread your project. It asks the graph, and the graph answers with only the pieces that matter. Setup is three commands. Pip install code review graph. Then the install command, and this part surprised me. It auto-detected every AI coding tool on my machine and offered to wire itself into all of them at once. Claude Code, Cursor, Codex, Gemini, Copilot. 8 platforms detected. One command and the correct config written for each. Then you run build and you're done. Everything after this point is automatic. So I pointed it at Flask, the real repository, 94 files. Build time on my Mac, 2.4 seconds. Out came a graph of 1,446 nodes, connected by more than 8,000 edges. Every function, every class, every call, every test link in Flask mapped. And updates are incremental. Save a file, and it repasses just that file and its dependents in about 2 seconds, even on repos with thousands of files. Then I broke it. I edited make response, one of the most connected functions in Flask, and asked the graph what my change could touch. This is called the blast radius. Watch the ripple. 41 nodes directly changed. 500 nodes potentially impacted within 2 hops. 59 other files that depend on what I just touched. And it flagged something I didn't even ask for. 3 of the functions I changed have no test covering them. It found my test gaps before the review even started. And here's the panel that sold me. For my change, full context would have been 25,578 tokens. The graph handed the AI 643. That's a 97% cut. And because estimates are easy to fake, there's a verify flag that recounts everything with OpenAI's own tokenizer. Real count, 732 tokens. Same 97%. Your assistant reads the risk, the affected functions, and the test gaps instead of your entire project. Quick pause. If this is useful, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And if you want to back what we build, become a member on YouTube or a subscriber on Facebook. That's the whole ask. Back to the graph. Under the hood, it's beautifully boring. Tree Sitter, the same parser technology GitHub uses, turns your code into syntax trees. The trees become a graph in a single SQLite file inside your repo. And your AI tools talk to it over MCP, the open protocol they all speak now. More than 30 languages are covered: Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, Go, Rust, Java, even Jupyter notebooks and Terraform. And if your language is missing, you add it with a small config file. No fork, no code changes. Across 6 real repositories: Fast API, Flask, Express, Gin, HTTPX, and itself. The median saving per question is about 82 times fewer tokens. The best case is 528 times on Fast API's massive codebase. And notice something rare here. The project itself tells you that 528 is the outlier, not the headline. The whole benchmark is reproducible. Pinned commits, fixed seeds, the same numbers on any machine. Now, the part almost nobody will show you, and the reason I actually trust this tool. The README argues against its own hype. It admits its perfect recall number is circular because the ground truth comes from the same graph it's grading. It admits that for tiny single file edits, the graph context can actually cost more than just reading the file. It admits its search ranking needs work. I review a lot of AI repos, and I can count the ones this honest on one hand. That's a developer optimizing for your trust, not your star. The graph pays for itself on review context, but the side tools are half the value. Dead code detection found 97 unreferenced symbols in Flask on the first pass. Treat those as leads, not verdicts. But that's an afternoon of cleanup found in seconds. It auto-clusters your code base into named communities. Flask came out as 13, which is an instant architecture map for onboarding anyone. It traced 77 execution flows from entry points. There's an interactive visual graph that opens in your browser. And it exports to Neo4j, Obsidian, or GraphML if you want to go deeper. It also runs in your pipeline. There's a GitHub action hub. Every pull request gets one sticky comment with risk scored functions, affected flows, and test gaps, updated in place on every push. You can even make high-risk changes, fail the merge. And it stays local first. The graph is built on your CI runner and your source never leaves it. Here's your 5-minute playbook. 1. Pip install code review graph. 2. Run install inside your repo and restart your editor. 3. Run build once. 4. The gotcha that got me. If you work from a shallow clone, fetch some history first, because change detection diffs against your previous commit, and it stays silent without it. 5. From then on, just work. The hooks keep the graph fresh, and before any review, the brief flag shows you your blast radius and what you're about to save. Reviews get faster, cheaper, and they catch test gaps you didn't know you had. I condensed this whole setup into a free field kit, 1 page per idea. The install commands, the review workflow, the CI action file, the gotchas, and the honest limits, all copy-paste ready. Comment the word radius on this video, and our assistant sends it over. Or grab it directly at hyperautomationlabs.co/free/radius. Real talk. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. If you're just getting started with AI coding tools, the beginner guides are linked below. The complete Claude code guide, the codex guide, the cowork sales guide, and the architect prep kit, step by step from zero. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram as Hyper Automation Labs. Same name everywhere. Next time your AI asks to read your whole repo, you'll know it never needed to. It just needed a map. See you in the next one.